fg of 0 simply means what now?
It's f negative 4.
Are you guys really serious right now? Simply means f of what?
F negative 4.
Negative 4. I hope you wouldn't look confused and ask me, oh, what are we doing? I just hope so. Then this will be 3 negative 4 plus 5, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense now?
Yeah.
And that gives minus 12 plus 5, which is what? So that is that. Let's see if we get minus 7 here also.
Okay.
In this case, where do we begin?
Oh, you put the function 0 in.
Can you tell me where to begin? Not what to do, means. Where do we begin from? F of 0. That's the first thing to do. That's what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you for answer or anything. Okay? So the process is start from the last part again. Okay? So what do we get? Now we put 3, 0, 5. This gives 5, right? So everything now, G, can you see I just repeated my question so you understand what I'm doing here? Will be reduced to what? G of 5. So it has reduced now to G of 5. Because it looks complicated like this, right? But now this is simple because this has given us 5. Okay? So now when G acts on 5, what do we get?
5 minus 4. 1.
So it means F composed with G may not be equal to G composed with F. Does it make sense? In mathematics, we say that relation is not symmetric. You know what symmetric means?
Yes.
The same thing on both sides. You look at it different way, you get the same thing. So this relation composed is not symmetric. It's just like being friend on, following on Instagram. Is it symmetric?
No.
The fact that you follow me doesn't mean I'm following you? No. Right? What about friend list on WeChat? Is it symmetric?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Because if you are my friend on WeChat, then I'm definitely on your list also on WeChat. What about Facebook? Friends on Facebook?
I have no idea how to
follow. No, it's not.
I'm talking about friend, not following. Listen very well. Friends on Facebook.
Yes. Not sure.
Is it symmetric? Because you have to accept friend requests, so definitely you are friends already. Right? Which other one? I don't know anything about Snapchat, so don't ask me that. I have an account, but I never use it. So I don't know why. I'm trying to delete the account.
Don't even touch Snapchat.
Then what else do you guys use again?
Instagram. People use Instagram.
I just said Instagram. I'm not old school, Alex.
Discord.
I know what Instagram is.
Discord.
Alright. Okay, guys, quickly. We live in about 5 minutes. Can I ask you to do this? I put it here because I want to put something here. Are we ready? G of x equals x to the power 4 minus 5. And h of x equals x, I would just say 4x plus 5. Oh, that might be too, I don't want too complicated question. Sorry about that. So the first one, find G composed with F of 5. This is another way of writing this, okay? Remember this?
Yeah.
Wait, do we have to put the bracket?
Wait, why are there 2 brackets?
This is the way I put the question.
Wait.
So
why?
the way you write it doesn't matter.
Wait, you did H and not F.
Oh, sorry. Thanks.
Or you did F and not H.
Okay, alright. The second thing I wanted to do is H composed with G acting on -1. Okay, so try these 2 questions quickly. 2 minutes only. Question 2, 60 seconds more. Are you done? Did you write it in your book? Just take note of your answers. 30 seconds more. Just take note of your answer. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Wait, I need to.
So you're wrong.
Okay.
Are you done? Anybody?
Yes, I'm done. Oh, without him.
Doing it already. Wait. Don't put it that way. Put it this way. Yeah, I said. Anyway. So, alright, what do you get for 2A?
2A. 620.
620?
Yeah.
What about 6B?
Negative 11.
Negative 11? Did everybody get negative 11?
Wait.
For 6B?
Fine.
Yeah. What?
I'm kind of slow.
Alright.
You know why? Because of this.
Alright, so let's do this quickly. Can you please listen? So this will be the major one that's, because it's algebra now, it's not like number. It might be a problem. So please listen. This is f composed with g of x. So this is like finding an expression for it. Okay? So what it means is, of course, like we said before, f is going to act on whatever g produce. Right? So that's what I've just written here. So when you have a question like this, interpret it this way to make it easier for yourself. Okay? F acting on g. That's what it means, right? That means, remember, this is g. That means f is acting on 5x minus 3. I have only changed anywhere I get my g of x, I write this because g of x is this. Does that make sense? Again, f composed with g acting on x simply means f is acting on g of x. We just did that here. That's exactly what you did here in this one. We found this, then we said this is the same as g acting on 5 because f of 0 is 5 from here. Am I making sense?
Yes.
So all I did was to replace my g of x with the expression for g of x. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So now, what happens when my f acts on 5x minus 3? 5x minus 3, yeah? Bracket squared plus 1. Can you see that? Because whenever f acts on any point, you square the point and add 1. So now, f is acting on this group, you square the group and add 1.
Oh.
Does it make sense? So all we have to do is, are you lost? Okay, quickly. Now, listen. Do you understand how this became this?
Yeah, I just think it's square.
Hold on. Do you understand how this became this?
Yeah.
You understand how this became this? I need you to respond yes or no. Quickly, we don't have time. Do you understand how this became this? What? No. Do you understand what we did here? How did I get 5? From above, f of 0 is 5. Yeah, exactly. So whenever you see something like this, it means this is acting on the second one. That's what I did here. So this is acting on this one. Right? And that's what we did here. Okay? So now this one is the same as this from here. Okay? So now f is acting on this. So what does this mean? Whenever f is acting on anything, you square it and add 1. So now f is acting on this group, you square the group and add 1. Does that make sense? So all we have to do is expand the bracket and add 1 and we have simplified. The next one. So everybody tell me what to do now. This means what? G
F of x.
acting on f of x. Good. Okay?
Yes.
Now, what does that mean? G acting on
x squared plus 1.
good. Why? Because f of x is x squared plus 1. Does it make sense now?
Yeah.
So what does this mean?
then 5 bracket x squared plus 1 minus 3.
Wonderful. That's it.
Yay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I go again, for the sake of anybody still having doubt. This is how they got what they told me. G acting on this simply means G is acting on this one, because this goes first. Alright? So G acts on this. Now, what is this one? Just copy from the definition and paste in there. Now, how do you interpret this? You go back to, because now you're interpreting G acting on something. So you go back to the definition for G. Whenever G acts on anything, you multiply by 5 and subtract 3. And that is it. Multiply by 5 and subtract 3. Of course, you don't stop here, you expand the bracket. Alright? So when you expand the bracket, what do we have?
5x squared plus 5.
Then minus 3. So I want you to complete that, get the right answer, and look at your textbook, page 300 and something, and try to do some practice on your own. Okay? If you have to give me any worksheet, please put it on the table. And class is dismissed.